Hey everybody, it's Mr. Delusive here again with the weekly Devblog. I'm in desktop mode again because I'm showing off this week. I did a lot of fixes to like the borderless window, like I said. I got all the ships in, the ones I'd drawn up. So pretty much all that's left is one more wave of ships, and I'm pretty much writing it all up now, like the ship names, their stats and everything, and I've got around 30, and I'm gonna do them all at once, draw them up just like the other ones I did last week. But yeah, but this week I pretty much just got them all in, all the coding for that, which took a while, and then after that I just focused on fixing all the minor and a few bigger bugs that I found, and yeah, trying to improve the quality of life in the game. Yeah, so quality of life improvements. Yeah, so I started, I don't know if you'll notice, damn, the frame rate drops with OBS in desktop mode. But yeah, this is all bigger now, so yeah, all here. And that helps the alignment, so they're still kind of, yeah. But it's because the numbers are with this font. So what I might do with that, because I just saw it as I was playing around with the fonts, I can put between every character a spacing. So I'll put a fixed spacing and then make this move at that. That's like a 5-minute fix for that anyway. So yeah, I've adjusted the font sizes for that. Also, yeah, I'm just looking through what I've written down because I always forget what I did. So yeah, I'll go into that in a sec, but in my list, this is next. It used to, when you were in this was just a minor bug. When you were in this page, you could click here and it'd actually click on that button, because I was only testing if this UI was active. And even when you're in this page, that UI is active. So it was saying, yep, that UI is active. If you position rect of that button contains the mouse and you click, then it will do it. All the conditions were met. But yeah, obviously when you're in this page, I don't want it to. So that's fixed now. So as you can see, yeah, even that I cleaned up, because I don't know if anyone saw it anyway. It was just a small thing, but there was a small line here on this image, same with here, and I don't know why it was doing that, but yeah, it was weird, as like the actual image didn't do that. The source rect and everything was fine, so I just fixed that. So anyway, moving on to this, I've removed full screen mode because it actually was causing trouble. I don't know if it was monogame or just because I wasn't using a scale matrix. So if you notice, like when I do this, see, nothing resizes. I mean, nothing in the game resizes, just the border adjusts. So, and that's a thing with the game as well. Like, yeah, I've said it before in other versions or other videos, how, you know, some people in full Ultra HD resolution might find the game easier than people in 1920 by 1080, but then the people in 1080 will find it easier to kill. Like the game will be easier to beat, kind of thing. And yeah, so, and I've done it that way because I was having a lot of issues when I first started with the scale matrix, and I've done so much now that I've kept it this way. So hopefully that's not too much of an issue. And I've added that borderless window. As you can see, you just toggle it, it automatically saves, and auto detect resolution, when you click that, it makes it borderless full screen based on your screen resolution. So if I close this quickly and delete that settings ini, because it's all handled in settings ini anyway. Where is it? Options.ini, sorry. So I do that. See all the notes I put for See, it automatically, and the music comes on. Nico's lovely music. So yeah, so first time running for everyone, it will auto detect your resolution, run it at borderless full screen, and then you can adjust it there. See, and the reason why I'm doing that is if you go bordered full screen, see what it does here? It makes this, and then it kind of, it's still in line, but if you do this, you can't drag it up, and this screen is actually going under, because yeah, it's 3840 by 2160, same with my screen res, but this little gap here is like 40 pixels. So this is going under the screen by 40 pixels. So that's, and if I go back to borderless, oh, it actually remembered. No, it's a little bit thinner there, but usually it was a gap, but that's probably because of this start bar. And then yeah, you can see it adjusted there. We'll go back to that. We'll move you. So yeah, little tricks. All right, moving on. I'll just load it in. So one thing I tried to do was with the market, when you sell items, the color, do this. If you go here, I'll have to fly to Delusia one. So I guess I'll show off some of the stuff in the gameplay screen first. Damn, it's laggy with desktop. That's alright. I'm just showing off the... Shit, this looks laggy. But that's not the game, that's OBS in desktop mode. Really affecting it. So this was one thing. When you warp now, you can no longer, I've toggled off mouse aiming, and I've done it in here as well as on docked screen, so that it actually damn, this lag. But yeah, when you're in dock screen, the ships, when you're in ship hangar, we're actually aiming at their mouse when they're just there in the ship hangar. So that's no longer doing that, which was a fix along the same lines as this one. I'll actually, because this lag is getting to me, I'll dock and so I don't need to be in desktop mode anymore, I don't think. And as I'm waiting for that, so the loading screen as well, it'll only take this long on a few places now, like Delusia 1 and all that. So I've upped, so it loads a lot quicker on the other planets, because yeah, on Delusia 1, like Serpentine 1, Bugfixes 1, they're the ones with the access to the ship hangar. And what actually is lagging, well, what's causing it to take so long to load is that it's loading all the ships, and that will actually change as well once I move all the ships anyway to, I think that's working, yeah. So yeah, once I move the buyable ships to their appropriate locations, it should even be quicker, because this is loading every single ship. So that should cut it by a fifth, well, actually cut it down to a fifth of the time. So another thing I did, yeah, so if I go to ship hangar quickly, I've adjusted all the alignments on the existing ships of the engine trails, so they're all in the right place now. You can see some of the ships I didn't have in last week, they're all in now. And yeah, so that was one. Another thing, the market, what I was going to go through before, If we go to cargo bay, so if I sail this one, if you pay attention to these two here, see it moved quickly but the color updated and it was delayed. I was trying to remove that delay. I've shortened it, but it's still kind of annoying to me, and I really want that to snap to as exactly the same like the list update. It's the list update, like that's just removing the row, and then to update the colors it actually is clearing, because how I have the colors working is a lot different to how I have the list generating of the buy list and the sell list. So there's actually like sell item list for, sorry, sell material list for cargo bay. There's a sell material list for ship cargo, and there's a sell item list for cargo bay and sell item list for ship cargo. So while it's easy to like remove, say, from the item list, to put the color in the right position, you actually need access to both lists. So it's not only basing it on the item list, it's basing it on the material list plus the item list as well. And when you remove from the item list, I'm actually just clearing all the list, the color list, because that's a list as well, and that gets completely cleared and then remade. And I've done it that way because when I wasn't, it actually was going completely all over the place because of the two separate lists. So yeah, the more like that was just as I was doing it. So I might, if I'm trying to fix that, I might, you know, completely change that, but I don't want to change too much because there's something like 10 lists going on there. But that's that. So I've shortened it just from repositioning the code. And yeah, that's that one. Now, another thing, a major change I did was the sounds. So I've changed how all the sounds work. And I guess the best way to show it off is with this ship here, the Herald, the big circle. Because that's got 8 of the same weapons and they're pretty loud. So I've adjusted pretty much all the volumes of the collisions. There's now a pitch which kind of helps with the, because if I do this, I'll put it on high. So as you can see, there's kind of like this, I don't know how to describe it, synthy kind of sound going on, and that's because I'm putting now with every single weapon and every single explosion and every single collision sound, there's now a random pitch adjustment of 10%. I'm actually thinking to increase that to 20%, but that's why you get that kind of synth sound. And that I'm doing that because before I added that pitch, it would play all those sounds at once and they would all sound exactly the same, so it would become really distorted. So yeah, that was a fix as well, adjusting the volumes a little bit to make it still sound decent. So it adds a bit of variance as well. So yeah, it's hardly noticeable, but it's a major change, like for the speakers anyway. So that was another thing. What else? Oh yeah, like other things that probably, they're just minor things, like removing the engine trail when warping in. I fixed the loading times for the other planets, and eventually this planet will be. What else? Altogo. Oh, those two I went through. So the other things are to do with the controller. So And another thing is the ships were going, say you went to the rightmost part of the game, the ship was actually going over the border, and that was because of I was using the sprite sheet effect, and I've removed all that completely, so I was actually dividing by 3 when it was going to the edge, so it was actually overshooting, same with the bottom, but now, yeah, I just put ship image width and height, and that fixes it. And the last ones I'll go through quickly. So we'll go back to main menu, and I'll plug in the controller, and I'll show off again the controller support. So it's all auto detecting, as you might have seen in the previous videos. So there, gamepad has been detected, and with the menu controls, that was all added as well. So yeah, using the controller now. Continue. All that. And the 2 changes I did had to do with the pause overlay and the dock sound. So yeah, minor fixes, but it's all proper now. It's a good way to demo the controller support again with the new font and everything. So yeah, as you can see, if you didn't see the previous video, so I'm using my Xbox 360 controller to move the mouse around. Same here. So there's star map, missions, you know, all working. Anyway, launch. That's another thing I had to do. That's weird. The ship mass is different for the controller. I have to have a look at that. So yeah, if I pause, the HUD overlay is actually above that pause overlay, and it was before underneath it. So yeah, this is all how you navigate the menus in with the controller. Just like that. I'm using B to open and close, so on. So yeah, they're all the bugs I fixed this week, and I've guess I've got a few more that I've got to fix, like this ship movement. That's really, I think I know why actually, because I must have changed, when I changed how the ship movement worked in the mouse and keyboard, I mustn't have put it properly in the controller support. So yeah, like if I remove the controller out now as well, updates, it all handled on the fly. So now it's snapping to the mouse again, and the movement's working properly. So yeah guys, I think that was everything I did this week. Yeah, I'm just going through the book again. Yeah, I think that's everything. But yeah, so makes the game work a bit better. I'm considering this week really getting a logo up, a proper logo with this font, and make it look good, because I know on, like when I'm trying to sell the game on Steam, it's the logo you gotta, you know, if that looks good, it will kind of get people interested. And I was actually thinking about it like yesterday, like even looking through the Steam list and looking at some games, you always look at that logo and that first image that really gets your attention, and that's what I really want here. So I'm thinking like, yeah, this font, maybe a nice planet image, probably one of the planets from Delusia, because the game is called Lords of Delusia, and go from there, and hopefully that gets initial interest, get all those images up, get some cool gameplay videos. Like I really I'm gonna put up soon a video of the Amphitrite with all its giga weapons, and just name it like the power of the sun, and go for a minute and try and turn that into a GIF and post it Reddit or something, and maybe that'll get some interest in the game initially as well, because that's what I really want to do, is keep getting the marketing up. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Anyway guys, I'll leave this video there, and I'll hopefully see you next week. But that's another thing, I'm not going to have as much work done, I think, next week, because my mum is going into hospital, and yeah, she's having surgery, so I'm going to be there for her, helping her out and everything. So I'll still probably get a lot done, but it won't be as much. But yeah guys, so thanks for watching. I'll hopefully see you next week.